Do you have a good piercer? I've had really terrible experiences in the piercing room and really amazing ones, and I think it all comes down to the piercer. Today on Piercing with Scott, we're talking about what makes a good piercer, what makes a bad piercer, and what you need to be looking out for. When you walk into a shop, the overall vibe is that it should be a friendly, comfortable atmosphere. If you go in there and the people are not very friendly to you, they're rude or condescending, or it seems like you're just wasting their time, move on to the next shop. This is your experience. It should be fun, friendly, and overall positive. Now, one of the other things you need to be looking for beyond the friendly is a shop that's clean. It should be physically clean in the shop. If there's stuff all over the floor, scuffs on the wall, dust all over the pictures on the wall, these are sure signs that they're not cleaning everything like they should be. And another thing you can do is always go to the bathroom. That's the sure sign. Like, if that bathroom's filthy, what else aren't they cleaning? Disgusting. So go to a clean shop. When you're looking for a piercer, the piercer should be very knowledgeable. If you have questions, they should be able to answer most of them for you. And if they can't answer the question, I would hope that they would tell you they don't know the answer and they'll look into it and get back to you, because that's what a professional would do. So if you're not comfortable with the way they're kind of searching around for their answers, or they don't seem very confident, again, this might be a red flag. Now, another thing you need to look out for is the license. It's not super important that you look out for it, because if you're in a shop, they probably are licensed and it will be displayed. But keep this in mind. If your piercer is working out of a bedroom or a house, chances are they're not licensed. The licensing is for a specific shop, most likely. Now, when you're picking out your jewelry, which you should have that option, you want a good jewelry selection. Some shops you'll go to might just be a tattoo studio and they do some piercings on the side. And yeah, piercing's only $50 and it comes with the barbell. Well, you better hope that's a good quality barbell, but if they don't have options, it probably isn't. You can order cheap stuff overseas for 10-15 cents a piece, and they mark it up to the same price as a quality piece of jewelry. So you need to do your homework. Just because it's expensive doesn't mean it's quality. Now, also, the nice variety of jewelry. You're trying to heal your piercing up. You want to be happy with your piercing. You don't want just something boring or blah on there. Find something happy, but also something that'll heal nicely for you. That's why a good jewelry selection is very important. Last thing I want to say about jewelry is, obviously, don't use this externally threaded garbage jewelry. This is the cheap jewelry you buy overseas. The threads on there are going to scratch and irritate as you take it in and out, whether it's healed or brand new. And a lot of times it really can be inferior metal. What you're looking for is internally threaded, like this stuff right here, or the threadless stuff. Both of these are generally higher quality metals, and it's much smoother and more comfortable to wear. Before we head into the piercing room and talk a little bit more about cleanliness, I'm going to talk about the reputation of the piercer. Now, there's a couple ways you're going to want to research this. First of all, you might want to look on Google or Yelp and look at their star reviews and read some of the reviews they have. Overall, they should be positive. Some people do have a bad day or might just give a random bad review because they're a jerk. That does happen, so you can't trust every single one of them, but you can trust the rest of the reviews. Another thing you want to do is talk to people who have piercings. Ask them where they got them, if they had a good experience, was it painful? And of course, if you can't find the right piercer in your community, you can always fly out to Vegas and have me pierce you. Now, let's head to the piercing room. Now, as I walk into the piercing room, the first thing I'm going to want to do is actually wash my hands. I'm not going to go in detail here. Use warm water, make sure you use a good amount of soap, some good soap actually, and thoroughly rinse all sides of your hands, rinse them off, and then dry them off real well. Now, if you look in the back, you're going to see a weird square box. That's an actual autoclave. That is a different type of autoclave. Not everyone has this style. If they're using this style, which is called a Statum, you're not actually going to be using a lot of packages, because you can actually put it in a tray, and then right next there you see a little glass bowl with a bunch of white and red and blue integrators in there, and those basically tell if every single cycle which we sterilize gets clean, and I show that to every single customer. And of course we got the Pure Cleanse right there, which is our surgical skin prep. Use a good quality skin prep. Rubbing alcohol just doesn't do the same. Now, when you see me put on my gloves, first thing I'm going to do is try to grab the outside cuff of the glove, put the glove all the way on without touching the outside of the glove, put the other glove on, and I'm going to set up my tray. Now, when I set up my tray, I start out by using a hard surface disinfectant. start with the inside circle and work my way out. That way I don't recontaminate the area. And then I'm going to put a dental bib down. The reason I do the dental bib is just an added extra barrier protection in case there's any blood, ointments, things like that would go on the tray. It just keeps things a little bit cleaner. Now the things I'm putting out there are pre-sterilized tools and implements. One of them is a pre-sterilized prep kit, which is basically sterile gauze, cotton swabs, Q-tip, and any extra tools I might need to use. So everything I'm using on you is sterile. Now when I'm opening the package, they should open up and set it down just like this, not just dump it on the tray. Like I said, it's not sterile, but if you open up the package, use it as a sterile field, everything stays much cleaner. Now you see how I just popped it through the back of the bag like that? Don't let your piercer do that. That's not the proper way to do it. All the germs and dust and particles on the outside will go right inside the needle or on your tool, and it kind of defeats the purpose of using sterile jewelry. Now this is the marking pen I'm using, just opened up right there, and this is just a little alligator clip. I'm just showing you how I open up some of the packages without contaminating or touching the inside. You're going to want to use a Pure Cleanse or some sort of hospital grade skin prep, and of course here you're looking at the marking pen. Generally I use the toothpick and I open it up and dip the toothpick in the ink. That way it's still sterile, but I get a much more tight dot. And of course, throw all your tools away in the toolbox, and the needles go into the sharps container. I make sure all my customers know so they know that I never reuse needles. When I grab the dental bib, I put everything inside the gloves and we toss that away. And of course, re-glove right away because those other gloves were dirty, so new gloves to kind of clean and set everything back up to the beginning point. Start out by disinfecting the tray and also the table. Now keep in mind, there's a lot of piercers doing different techniques. There's different ways to do the piercing, whether it's clamped or non-clamped, whether it's sitting up or laying down. There's no right or wrong way, as long as it's clean. That's the most important part. So make sure you have a clean piercer and ask a lot of questions. That's the best thing you can possibly do. A good piercer should be able to answer all those questions for you. Now, if you've ever had a bad experience or have any questions, make sure you leave in the comment below. Make sure you give me a subscribe, like, and of course, keep putting holes in your body. We'll see you all on the next video.